I'm determined to draw something every day, and I could have done that earlier, actually, for a new friend I made, um, and I didn't. So here I am. I've drawn something every day. I need to do this. Tomorrow I'm going to watercolor this and turn it in on Saturday. I penciled this here, I believe, just a couple days ago. What did I do yesterday? I did something. Do it live? I don't remember. Now things are blurring a bit. A new friend I was talking, we were talking about the importance of getting, we need to see more people with values and ethics and all. I bought some books. From a new friend Kathleen, and I left, and I heard about the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and that was not what I wanted to hear after that conversation, because I was feeling good about things. All right, we're gonna get some of the efforts I make. I'll make a lot of efforts. Been doing it for a long time. In fact, this picture is kind of along those lines too. And that assassination was really hit me hard, because I like to have some hope for our youth. Things are going to get better, and instead I'm not so hopeful. I'd also like it if the person was found who did it. That would be very good. On the plus side, I was also given a call. I was called about helping out with a Historica Orlando event in November. I wasn't overly tickled about who's involved, but all right, I'll do it, because I like to. I mean, we need hope that we get history out. The hope that we can have is if we can get more history out there, we'll get younger people, any people, to be. So this is geared to get younger people involved with this history organization. And it was Charlie Kirk who was murdered, assassinated, for trying to do the exact same thing, getting people to better understand our history, which he was accomplishing wildly so. Wildly so. This fellow is kind of doing the same thing too, and him being younger. I'm not really looking at where I am here. Let me see if I can get this. Here we go, live drawing. There I am. I have no idea if anybody's here. Oh, my mingle. Someone's clicked the thumbs up. Thank you. Who, if you're watching, I don't know if anyone's watching. But I figure I'll go ahead and get this started at least, and tomorrow I'll watercolor this, because Friday I'm in Winter Park in Orlando for a meeting where this Charlie Kirk thing will absolutely positively come up. And I'm turning this in on Saturday for another meeting I'll be at. Sometime tomorrow, daytime, I'll probably go live. Change this a little bit while I was penciling. I picked up some wonderful books, but maybe I'll do more about that tomorrow. They're mostly Florida history. Picked up some interesting books. Here's a book I picked up called Electric Refrigerator Recipes. Who's typing something? Hello. Hello, Cheryl Cornelius. This is electric refrigerator recipes and menus. And this is done by the GE refrigerator, General Electric. And it is from the illustration. I need to post some of these illustrations on my, what the heck is that Facebook page I have? I forget the name of it. No poetry books there, by the way. No poetry books. I don't think there were. No, there were a lot of recipes, but no. This is by Miss Alice Bradley. The price was $2. It's from 1927. And there's a nice little picture of Mom and the kids. The refrigerator, of course, being an early GE refrigerator. And a literal ice box, that's why it's called ice box. Nice little illustrations. And it has the menu. Menus for informal luncheons. Note the hats. Our friend who goes by Nadia Bloom, would like those hats, I think, though that's a little early for her accoutrements. But here's a whole dinner given. A chicken a la king on toast. Tomatoes stuffed with frozen salad rolls. Orange layer cake, chocolate. Oh, so I will be in the area. I'm not going to have a lot of time. I've got to be at a meeting very early Saturday morning. So I'm going to a meeting, I think it's a meeting luncheon type thing at noon in Winter Park. Then I got to run into College Park to check my PO box. And I'm going to go to Gabriel's. I don't know if they'll have the pumpkins they want me to draw on yet. I'd try to meet up with y'all, but I need to head back because I got to be in the villages, not even the villages, I got to be in North Sumter County, 8 a.m. Saturday morning. Anyway, but there's menus. I think I have a copy of this. I look at it, or I had one. I think I have this now that I look at it. Look at those parfaits. There you go. And there's Andrea Kaczynski. There's parfaits. And I'm sorry I was so tired, Andrea. I realize now how tired I was when I saw you all. I'd put about 2 miles in walking that little comic book. It wasn't walking the convention because I only walked. It was walking back and forth to the car a few times. Really knocked me out. I didn't realize how tired I was till the next day, Sunday. I was sleeping. I was really tired. And I've been tired this whole week. The Charlie Kirk thing is depressing to me. Very depressing. Your political views get to a point where you feel you need to assassinate someone. Not good, guys. Not good. And I just had my new friend who I bought these books from. We'd just been talking about really civility and the need that we need to work together, and we need to have morals and ethics. And I do hope that person is found who did it. And it looks like the hit was, I hope the fellow was off his aim. If he was on his aim, that's a professional hit that get someone in the throat. I don't know how I got home. Crossover Paranormal. Although, yes, I remember Crossover Paranormals. Is this the one in North? Are you the person in, was it North Carolina, I think? I should have been here when I was working on my comic book pages. Well, I guess I still have a bunch. No, I don't have much work. Or I have to do the cover. But it's all, I got to redo that last page. I decided I'm redoing the last page. Yes, North Carolina. I remember some things. Yeah, the Charlie Kirk, it doesn't matter your politics. That someone takes it, goes that far. Oh, that's not good. I've been in politics for 40 years, and also my time in North Carolina. It's not good. Yeah, because Crossover Paranormal Society were you part of my lives when I was doing lives in North Carolina too? had the because I think you were here when Alex was co-host. I believe so. So here's a chocolate mousse sundae. Really simple little recipe. So this is a 1927 recipe book for General Electric refrigerator owners. Very neat, very nice little bits of artwork. And then this is from Rector, and this is George Rector, who had Rector. Another one I had machines. I believe these are from a lady who is 90 years old, living in Vero Beach, who I need to meet, and I hopefully will do this. Maybe after talk, I was invited to be part of an event for Orlando history in November. Talking to Mark Line. Point was I need to probably make that sooner than later. She's 90 years old after all, and this lady has such memories of cattle raising in South Florida, and we were talking about, oh my goodness, women's amazing. I need to get this across. I have something to tell Missy Busby about that, because I was telling her about downtown Kissimmee, and this lady had some great reactions to that. Anyway, some more. These are interesting recipes because it's more. It really gets to nuts and bolts of things. Anyway, I need to get drawing, don't I? I'm tired and asleep. Yes, those desserts do look good. I'm just tired. Okay, so where am I here? I'm doing this. Tomorrow I'll come back. During the day, probably noontime, I'm going to try. Well, I got to get rid of, I guess it'll be in the way of. This is a fellow named Nick Adams, and he was a speaker. And this is going to be a thank you drawing for this fellow who came to speak. Yeah, I've been having a lot of, after meeting with Kathleen and getting these books, I got some great Florida history books. And those smothered pork chops I got at that Taste of Soul restaurant, something's not right with those. It wasn't right. That's not how you smother pork chops. The cornbread wasn't right, and the service was abysmal. I do want, so I've also want to get over, because we talked, that's another trip. I can't find my calendar. I was marking it up when I was talking to Mark Line. I was in the car working out the schedule for this November event. I guess it's in the car. It's dark and I can't find it. But I need to figure out this trip to Orange City to go see John Crowther, the lawyer, who is also does wrestling comic books. But I want to go to that building, and he's going to tour me through it. I've been in it a couple times, but briefly. And then I could visit with Andrea. But then also I need to now make a trip down to Vero Beach to go see this lady whose name is... It's getting away from me. I need to write it down. I think I wrote it down. I don't know if I wrote down the calendar or not. Darn it. Here, I'm gonna... Her name was... Can't remember. But I want to go do oral history, get some stories from her, old Florida. But that is how it should be. We don't, and I've been in politics for 40 years, and I'm used to talking to folks about issues. And I'm glad I saw a friend, Frank Taylor. He and I used to do lives over at Justin TV years ago. I was glad. He and I see things differently politically, but I'm glad he said it doesn't matter where you are politically, but if it is dead wrong to be cheering on the death of the assassination of Charlie Cook, and that was a healthy thing he wrote. And I was glad. He's since written some things that are a little not as good, but but still, he was on the right track there. I do not like how some people from the right have written that this is the start of a civil war. No, that is as bad as being joyful about Kirk's assassination. Because remember, this could happen to you. You over there. Yes, you over there in the corner with the ice cream. I've been sad about this all today. That's why I've been. Otherwise, it's been a good day. That's the historic. I think it was a hotel. It's a wooden structure. It's got the telephone museum in it, and he has his legal office. You would not believe there's a legal office in that building, but he's got it. I've been supposed to tour that for, I don't know, the last 5, 6 years, and I haven't. So I need to get it done. I have the time. It's like I have the time to get to Vero. What we might do is go down to Vero Beach, and then I may go down to Miami and go see in Coral Gables, go see my grandparents' graves. She knows Coral Gables too. That the 90-year-old, she knows Coral Gables, and that was really neat. One of the books I picked up has a Books and Books bookmark in it. That's in Coral Gables now. I'm gonna cut this back here because it's a little heavy. This is how Al Hirschfeld drew, by the way. He did scratchy lines. They all look nice and clean and neat, but really he did. Yes, there's a telephone museum. There's a telephone museum. Who was I talking to about Maitland? There's a telephone museum at the Maitland Historical Museum too. That's really, and there's one over at the one in Pasco County, the Pioneer Museum. That's somewhere else I need to get to. Yeah, I've really altered this. I need to keep drawing. I feel bad. I've done some recent drawings that I know are stinko now that I was trying to draw and do that job. Doo-doo-doo. So tomorrow I'll finish. I want to put. He has a couple. He has a number of books actually. I'm going to change this arm and have him holding one of the books. But this is a better drawing than I'll let you know, Andrea, when I go to the. Of course, I'll let you know. Now I don't want to go back to Taste of Soul though. I'm trying to figure out what Crowther goes there all the time apparently. I've been using the example of, I was talking to a few people here since then, and somebody else has brought up the problem of young people being able to communicate, and this was the problem with that young kid taking the order, the menu being up on the wall, and he having no idea not only what's in the menu, but he didn't know what it meant, because he didn't know that there were. I've since noticed, I've seen their menu, and they have the smothered pork chops, small, large. But when we were there, that absolutely positively was not there. But what was really bad was that kid who took that order didn't even know what the two meant. He had to go back and ask, what's a small and what's a large? We were guessing he meant two, but I'm not guessing. You don't guess your orders when you're ordering food. Yes, I think if Elaine and Cheryl were there, that would have been really even very unpleasant. This kid was, and see, Andrea is very, very, she's very kind and sweet to everybody, and when Andrea got there later, and I'd already had a number of problems with getting an order. And then in the end, it took us 40 minutes before we got our food because they had forgotten. I'm going to tell John about that whenever I see him, because there's just no excuse for all that. And I was talking to Tom Hockman. He thought it was intentional what they did. No, I'm not saying you're not nice, but you would have given that fellow what for. And he needed to hear it. I'm glad you enjoyed your meal. I'm glad you enjoyed your meal. And the fried chicken was okay. It was okay. Was okay. What I learned. I'm sorry. After we left, I learned their coleslaw is outstanding. That was the best. Macaroni and cheese was very very good, but I not it gets knocked down because the coleslaw was maybe some of the best coleslaw I've had. They do something a little different with it. And it really works. This kid needed to hear what for. And I was holding my tongue because I knew Andrea's sweet and I'm going to go, rawr. But I think, yeah, you all would have told them what. They need to hear it. He really screwed up. And he didn't even care. That was the real sad thing about it. He didn't care. Now I'll say the lady who realized that our meals were late, she cared, and she was trying to. In fact, she brought our meal to us. Yes, the macaroni and cheese was outstanding, but the coleslaw was really really good. I'm sorry it came in such a small little container because I would have gotten a whole container just of coleslaw. So well, their sides were also extremely expensive. If you didn't get it with the meal, they were $4 each. That's a lot for a little cup of stuff. I'm sure they're paying a lot for rent. I ended up going to that comic book store, which is interesting. That comic book store down the because I was going to head back to Five Dime or whatever, Five Below, to pick up something. And anyway, I stopped at a comic book store. And that's when I realized, and I apologize, I was really tired because I was trying. Started talking. They talked to me and they were asking me some questions. Well, was I looking for anything? And I was very impressed with the story. What makes that that comic store really really good. And I admit I'm tired now too. Is tomorrow I'll be awake and I'll be louder, more energy, probably around noontime. But anyway, the comic book store was not just comics and manga, so there's plenty there for Tabitha to like. But there was also a lot of old stuff. This fellow respects history of the comic book industry, so he had a lot of things there, a lot of books. It was all intermixed. So if like some of Tabitha's looking for manga, she'll find something about Jack Kirby right beside it. But it all works. I was very impressed. The fellow said he had left. He had a store in Florida. Went to for some reason went to Arizona and had a store for the last 20 years or so. Then came back and just recently opened that. I think he said he opened it about 7 months ago. Very impressed with that store, though. Very impressed with it because it's got quite a variety. I don't know if it's worth for Tabitha or you all to go up there though, because it's not. There is some manga stuff there, but it's not. They don't have a library of manga, and there are some figurines there and a few other things, but it's and they have a place to kind of a couch and things where you can sit about, kind of like over at whatever Raven one in Maitland. I'd like to go back to that Maitland one. And we'll see. I may do a show for the Daytona Beach show here in January. I need to get this comic book done, which this is not a part of. Let me go ahead and get his arm started. This is the way I've been doing. In fact, with the death of Mabel Butler, I did a lot of hers like this. And I'd stopped doing it this way, but I'm realizing I need to. Doing all the little. I'll be back working on maybe this weekend. Well, I'll be gone Saturday most of the day. I may come in. I'll probably do something Saturday night. Sunday, I'll do a live over here, YouTube, 7 p.m. The comic store by Aldi. Yeah, it was a long day, and I didn't realize I'd walk so far till it was a hard drive home. It was a really hard drive home back here. It was a real hard drive. I was in worse shape a few weeks ago when I drove back, and I was really falling asleep at the wheel. Well, actually, yeah. Well, I've been, we were somewhere, we were in college, I guess I am tired. Now, we were discussing pressure and all, and, the pressure has been up here. I think it's why I've not been resting right. Oh, wait, I'm messing up this hand. These fingers should come out. Oh, well. All right, never mind. Too late. What I may do for the history at the History Museum for this event is try to get some stories from folks of their memories of Orlando, even though I don't like how it's set up. It's set up by people who don't know the history of the area, of course. Billy Morgan knows better. I don't understand this. There's a county commissioner named Myra Uribe who's just a pure. I've tried to. I can't be objective about her. I mean, I can be objective. I've seen her do some unethical things as a county commissioner involving Pioneer Days, and I can't ignore it. And she's going to be one of the people. She's born and raised. I think she's 50. She was born and raised in Orlando, but her memories of Orlando only could go back maybe 35 years, maybe 40. That's tops. That's not very long ago. And what she can do, talk about Disney World. She grew up in South Orange County. It'd be different. She grew up in College Park or Winter Park or Maitland, but where she grew up, what's she going to talk about? And I start rattling off people that could be speakers like, glad Melissa's not here, Robert Stewart would be a far greater, far, far, far better person to have there. His family, the Stewarts, did so much. Yeah. This guy was a good speaker. And again, this is a speaker who spoke about involving politics and having a sense of humor. And that's something Charlie Kirk didn't do it as much as this guy put a lot of humor in his talk. And we need people who have a sense of humor. You need to laugh at things. Myra Uribe has zero. I've tried to talk to her and joke with her, and you can't. And she also thinks that since she's a county commissioner, she should be treated, like a county commissioner. I've been around too many. I've been around dozens and dozens. Here, Orange, Seminole, Pinellas. I've been on the people. I know. I can't. I don't. They're not royalty, for heaven's sakes. And they're only there a temporary time, then they're gone. And they kind of forget about that. This guy's from Australia, by the way. I wanted to get Australian. I was going to put it on his tie. I'm not sure if I may change my mind about that. Yeah, I need to change that last page of the comic book. I don't know if Cheryl and Elaine are still here or not, but I try. I know you don't. I don't. I can't go to. I'm concerned about that 8:30 call over in the Villages. That means I got to leave here about 7:30 to get down there. 7:30. Oh, now you leave here about 7. You are here. That's interesting. There were no poetry books. I mean, there were quite a few hundred books she had. I'm not thinking, but there were no poetry books. Oh, there was one. And she didn't know it. So the lady I taught, the 90-year-old, it must have been her book, Will McLean. In fact, if she picked up Will McLean's book, she very possibly, because since she was down near Okeechobee, Fort Drum, she may have been there when I was there. Now, I just now thought of that. But it's a collection of Will McLean's music. Hold back the waters of Lake Okeechobee, for Lake Okeechobee's still waters run cold. Wonderful song. He was a great songwriter about Florida. And That book goes back that far. I wonder if she got there. I wonder if she bought it from Will. And Will was a friend of mine. That's what makes me mad about this Uribe lady. She's kind of taken over Pioneer Days and calls it her own. That is not hers. That was Shirley Cannon and Ann Bennett. They put the time and effort, and all the rest of us on the board. That's the reason there's a Pioneer Days, not her. I don't even know where she was at the time. I don't like her taking it, and all for political reasons. I didn't know Al Hirschfeld used, sketchy lines like this until I saw him. They had a video of him drawing, and here's someone I've been following all my life, and here he's doing this kind of thing. Oh, why am I not doing that then? Yeah, so if you want to say pluses to our internet system and video, Al Hirschfeld's been a hero. Neil Adams, Jack Davis is not. Well, Nat Davis doesn't count here, but because my experiences with him were in person that I learned so much. But seeing Adams, a video of him live. By the way, the Adams girls will be going live tomorrow night on Facebook. They'll be selling artwork and this and that and so on. And it's just sometimes fun to hear some backstories about how some of the comics were made. Anyway, but seeing those videos when Adams was alive and seeing the videos of Hirschfeld on YouTube, I learned things I didn't know about, and I'm glad they're there. Did Tabitha learn how to draw Sonic the Hedgehog? And Tabitha was a part of our conversation over at the comic book convention. I was with a bunch of us hand drawers, and I was telling them about it's the reality of business. You really can't. Bill Black was there. He's celebrating 40 years of one of his comics he does. And Pat Broderick was there, comic book artist, a number of people, John Crowther. John wasn't part of that conversation. We were talking about how hard it is to draw and create comics today and try to make money from it, where there's Tabitha just drawing things using deviant art and making more money than than Bill will on his comic book. Bill doesn't really care. He's 80 something, and he's not too concerned about making money these days. I don't know if he really ever really has. He's done something called AC Comics now since the late 70s, but very few people even know what that is. I need to get a hold of Crowther. I learned Crowther's going to do a comic book involving the Funks, Dory Funk, who's a well-known wrestler. I only know about Dory Funk and is because of my work I've done for Champions, the group that helps with folks who have learning disabilities, autism and such. I was teaching art classes, and Marty Funk and Dory Funk were part of it. They live down the street here a ways. And I'd love to work on that comic book somehow, so I need to get a hold of him. Okay, now here's the tricky thing. I want to do 13 stripes. So here's one. I always forget how many. I didn't do this deep enough. That should have been deeper. All right, I'll figure. So this is not going to be quite right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, close enough. Bristol bean paints. Oh, okay. Yeah, Nadia Bloom posted something about some video thing. Not quite understanding about some video game from 1996. She wasn't even born, and she's 27, so she wasn't even born then. But she was saying that influenced her. Not quite clear. I wasn't understanding what she wrote. But it wasn't Sonic. It was something else. I'm going to hold off the rest of this because I need to pencil this book in, so I'm going to change. Do I have a razor handy? Maybe I will try to do this. Since you all, thank you all. Oh, if y'all are here, you have a chance. If you want to, click the thumbs up. I appreciate it. I don't need that at Facebook, but I do need it here. I'm going to change this whole thing. It's a complicated cover, this bloody book. I wish it wasn't so complicated. I don't know if he sold many while he was there. Okay, I'm going to try to put this here. Yeah, really, if she's still doing the drawings and selling them on DeviantArt, she's probably making more money than Bill Black is doing his comic books. And he has a whole crew of artists who works on them. You just can't make much money doing it. Not helping things is Diamond Distributors falling apart. That really hurt everybody. But it's much like all the department stores turning into Walmart. I need to get some WD-40, and I didn't want to go to Walmart. And I started thinking, where else can I go? Where else can you go? Family Dollar? Where else? Well, my new friend Kathleen was mentioning Rural King. That's true. Oh, I don't like that arm. Well, I guess it'll work. I want to show the cover. It's a weird cover. I'll have them hold it like this, I guess. That's awfully big. Let me break it smaller. But it's sad that everything's, and so many young people don't know. There used to be Woolworth and McCrory's and Grant's and Kmart, of course, and so many stores are now gone. We used to have choices. Now we're stuck. Ooh, I should have 1/8 of an inch here, and I'm not doing it. I didn't do it up there either. Ooh. Okay, we get rid of part of this. All right, I don't like this. That's a bad arm. See, I erase. A lot of people think I don't erase. And I will be doing caricatures Saturday. I'll be doing caricatures Saturday. All this is for women's groups, by the way. You women all like. Anyway, I'll be with the women's group Saturday, and then on the 24th, 25th in South Orange County, and then October something in Daytona Beach. And I won't probably do caricatures again until Steve Brooks, Dr. Brooks' party. And Dr. Brooks has moved his party to the 9th of December, which really messes things up because I usually do the St. Lucia Festival in the morning till 3 or 4 o'clock, and then I go to Steve Brooks. I won't be able to do that this time because Steve's doing it a week early. But I don't want to miss the St. Lucia, so I'll probably be coming into the area twice there. And the problem with the first weekend of December is that's the Fort King Festival, so I won't be able to be there. Ugh. And then our library book sale is that first weekend of December. That is so stupid. There's so much Christmas stuff going on there. You're going to do a library book sale, and I'm going to miss it. I won't be able to get there. Oh, no, I guess I could, because Steve's party is until the evening. I just can't spend a lot of time there. But what am I doing buying more books? Because I like to read. That's why. Check his arm here. Yeah, that's not good. I don't care for that whole thing. Excuse me. How are you all doing? Are you all doing okay? Is Caleb going to pass the, 4th grade, right? 4th grade, is he going to pass the 4th grade? You know, I asked him about his ABCs or 1, 2, 3s. I don't know, they're the same. 1, 2, 3, ABC, who knows? They're all the same. And whatever one I asked him about, he didn't know. I think I said something like A, B, C, then what? And he just looked at me, and he acted like I thought I was crazy. I said, you're getting the 4th grade. You need to do better. Now, I'm teasing Caleb, who's actually in the last grade of school, where he's passed with flying colors, but he doesn't know his colors either. So Caleb is going to be graduating from primary school here. Well, I mean, that's the intent. I hope he does. That is the problem when you're trying to squeeze things into a. You're also trying to show action. Okay, so I'm going to come in here and do that. Okay, I am feeling better being here. Thank you all. I'm funny. It's a serious, it's a serious matter. 1, 2, 3's ABCs. Notice I don't go past 3. 1, 2, 3. You're on your. Who cares? I don't know if we're doing. I got to call Laurie Blassing. I don't know where things are involving the Silver Springs Shores event, if we're going to do that or not, because I don't even know what the date is, and I'm starting to. I want to get this comic book thing done. All right, I guess that'll do. That looks okay. Now this cover's a pain in the neck. Oh, I don't know what the bloody. Oh, spine's red. Okay, spine's red. That's easy. Just gonna leave it. All right, I think that'll work. Maybe I'll go ahead and pencil. Oh wait, I don't like this jacket. Or show action, so I want to make sure I was really tickled that Neil Adams' son friended me on Facebook. A couple of people friended me on Facebook that were, because the 4 days will be, 3 days will be the anniversary of the great hack that occurred to me. Mike Rhodes just recently connected with me, and Latressa Jones connected with me. I don't even know if they know. They probably think I unfriended them, and I didn't. But I did not have Neil Adams' son, whose name is Jason. He did not, we were not connected before. I was connected actually with his daughter, Chris, and we have not reconnected. Chris has been sick. Oh, I know so many people who are sick right now. Good golly. I'm amazed I'm not sick. Bobby Beaumont, he does a lot of things, but he is a fellow historian of sorts involving especially Orlando. I don't like that leg. But he got the virus, COVID-19, as we call it, for the first time here in the past week. I guess I will do something kind of. I guess that does look better. I'll show this foot is broken. I found some pictures of this fellow. He was pretty portly at one point. He's lost a bunch of weight. Okay, see if I can pull this off. Okay, keep doing I got watched doing too much of the little sketchy stuff because caricature thing I'll be doing Saturday. That should really help beef me up a bit. I need things like that to kind of get me drawn. I don't know what I'm going to do at the museum thing. November. I want to do something getting people's stories and memories. And I'm definitely as soon as I can get this comic book thing done, I'm going on to Ross Allen, and I keep saying that. But then I'm definitely going to do the book about people's stories that I've gathered. All right, so I'm really going to be, we're just ready for watercolor. And I still have to do the cover of the comic book. Well, I pretty much have that. And I got to redo the last page, but I know how I'm going to do it. Well, yeah, Caleb made a good comment about that last page. It's accurate. Whoop. Shoes. I'm not sure what kind of shoes he wears. It's a picture of him with shoes. I don't know. No, it's not. I can't really see. I'll make this work. Thank you very much. Well, this I got to watercolor it still. I'll do that tomorrow during the day. A bunch of little things to get ready. I gotta get this easel in the car and get ready for Saturday and Friday and Saturday. So I think that'll work. I better sign it while I think about it because I won't otherwise. Possibility this fellow is gonna, especially if some things happen in Congress, he's gonna be the ambassador to Malaysia, which I happen to know was one time that Morocco was considered a bit of a joke, but he's really tickled about it. It was the kind of joke if you want to get rid of somebody, you send him. But he's friends with the president and all that. I think he's just filling us. But I don't even know if Trump has any knowledge of that. I don't like that line there. I don't know if I better not. Maybe I'll watercolor that out. Okay, there you go. So here is, I got Nick Adams on his way. I just got to add watercolor to it, do that tomorrow, and then wrap it up and get ready to go out the door. Thank you all for watching. If you get a chance, if you want to, thumbs up. I appreciate it, or however you feel. It's up to you. Thank you very much for watching. I will probably be back sometime tomorrow around lunchtime or so. And you all have a good night. Thank you, Elaine and Cheryl and Andrea and Paranormal. It's nice to see Paranormal back here after so long. And everyone else. You all have, yes, I need to get some rest. And I hope my voice will be stronger tomorrow probably. And I'll share more. I've got a lot of nifty little book things I picked up. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you all next time. Take care. And do join my Facebook page. I'm about to say paranormal drawings, whatever it's called, artistic, whatever, Rob Smith, artistic renderings or something. Thanks for being here. I'll see y'all later. Take care. Rob Smith here. Good night. Good night.